morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Respect. Welcome to another episode of Next Generation Show Live, baby. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. You know it's for the children, so where the kids at? That's right. That's right. It's all about the next generations, man. You're an adult. The next step is what are we doing to protect, to ensure that next generations will have it better than we have. You know what I mean? All right. So this is a live call-in show. It's about anything that could be on your mind. You know, like I say down on the ticker tape, what's on your mind? Let's talk about it. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. Pacific. We're building a unique community, 18 plus ages only. Camera on, please, to protect the community and channel. No profanity in the chat or on cam. Respectful disagreements are welcome, solutions are welcome, and of course, laughter is needed. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to talk about things and progress. You know, not get all down in the dumps, angry, mad, depressed. Yeah, no. We don't want to deal with all those kind of, you know, emotions, man. We ain't trying to deal with all that. You know, what we'll do, we'll take those with a grain of salt. That way we can keep it moving with the positivity and hopefully gain something, you know, from each other. You know, even if it's just a little laughter, to lighten the day, to lighten your mood, your spirits, however you want to look at things, you know. So while we're entertaining, some people come in, some people they may not. It's a relatively new channel. If you run across it after the recording comes out, just share it, please. Even if you might not agree with it, maybe my voice turns you off or not being able to see me actually because I don't want to be the focal point, then at least share it to let people know there is a space that they could go to on YouTube to where they could talk about things that are on their mind. All right. And I guess we'll get into something that I was talking about on previous live, and it was flare. And I'm just going to break down more. We're going to get into the actual definition of flare, the acronym, okay, which is fact, right? The L would be for logic. The A would be for accountable or accountability, you know, and the R would be for reason, which reasoning goes into that, and the E is for empathy. Or, like I said previously, you could change the E out for education if you like, because there's a myriad of ways to be educated. Doesn't necessarily have to come through K through 12, you know, and then post-secondary education and graduate school and so on and so forth, even though that is fantastic. But we all know now in this day and age that your cell phone could almost be your doggone college, minus the social interaction. That's really the big thing about college is the social interacting and the networking that you can do in colleges. Arguably irreplaceable. Okay. But anyway, just to stay on task here, keep it light, simple, not gonna hold you up too long. We got fact, right? Fact. Noun, a piece of information that is known to be true, right? That's that's what it means to have facts or to speak facts or this is factual. A piece of information that is known to be true. And then once it can be proven that it is not true, it is not considered factual. And technically, it's not your truth because if it's your quote unquote truth and it's supposed to be factual, but it could be debunked that it's not factual, that it is false, then it's actually not your truth. That's your lie or just your feelings verbalized. we gotta we gotta step up our adult game. You know what I'm saying? And I mean our adult hat game, the thinking cap game. We can't just keep running around here willy nilly talking about, well, you got your truth, I got my truth, she got her truth. You would never get anywhere like that. We would never get on a level playing field to where we could just have a basic level of understanding each other so we could be able to have disagreements and be able to overcome us being disagreeable to find something that we could be agreeable upon. That way we could put an equal sign towards solution. Follow me? Okay. Next, we're going to hit that L and flare. Logic. So, logic is a noun also, a way of thinking about something that seems correct and reasonable, or a set of sensible reasons for doing something. Right? That's logic. A way of thinking about something that seems correct and reasonable, which means you can't be wrong. No one's perfect, right? So you think of logical because it seems correct and reasonable. All right. So you got two things that make something logical. It seems correct, which means it's right, something that could be backed up and proven. Right. Seems correct and reasonable. And then we're going to get into reason in future. And then we'll see how that correlates with logic and how a lot of these words actually coexist together and gives us a well-rounded way of going into things and looking at them and thinking about them and then discussing them and having words come out of our mouth about said things and topics and subjects. Okay. We got accountable or accountability. So accountable is an adjective responsible for the effects of your actions and willing to explain or be criticized for them. So to be held accountable is being responsible for the effects of your actions and willing to explain or be criticized for them. So in order to be accountable, you have to be willing to explain or be criticized for them, or both. Okay, that's what make us accountable people. We're willing to do our best to explain what we mean, and then be criticized for said things, and take from it what you may. Keep it pushing. Right? Reason. Reason is a noun. Why something happens, or why someone does something. Why something happens, or why someone does something. Right? So let's bounce back up here to logic real quick. And you see, remember, logic is a way of thinking about something that seems correct and reasonable. Right? Seems correct and reasonable. So to be logical, you got to already be, thinking, talking, about something that seems correct and reasonable, which is why someone or something is done the way it happens. Why? The question why. Right? Why something happens. Why someone does something. Just like I'm doing a video about the teacher that's paying the students to jump another student. And it's all girls and a lady teacher, female, you know? Crazy to think of, right? And then people say, yeah, that any teacher, you're right. That's right, any teacher, male or female. But normally when you think of those kind of things, not saying it's right or wrong. I like going into things, not just looking at if something's right or wrong, but if it's good or bad initially. Just taking in the substance of what it is and the information that I'm gathering. I will honestly say that I would think that it's probably boys and it's a guy teacher or something, because of what we normally see and what the media normally portrays and shows and what it says, you know. And I know that men could be, very violent. But guess what? Women can too. That's one thing we know for sure, regardless of sugar, spice, and everything nice, that the internet age has showed us is that women have the same proclivities, atrocious side to them, whatever you want to call it, as men do. So we're all in that barrel from that perspective. But why is that it's not reasonably shown to the masses that this side could also be female is not one-sided as male, you know? So I do a video on that. It's terrible. It's terrible. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. for the video that she did on that, and I reacted to. But y'all be able to check that out. I have to finish editing it up and stuff and everything. But anyway, back on track here. So that's reason why something happens, why someone does something. Asking questions. We need reasons, right? And the last letter be empathy. So empathy is a noun, the ability to understand other people's feelings. Empathy, the ability to understand other people's feelings. This is very crucial and important, you know, with us as humanity going forward, is getting the skill and learning how to be empathetic, to have empathy. And that is the ability. Notice it says ability, not something you just naturally born with per se. It's something that you can actually pick up along the way and you can get better at with experience and with time going on, and you actually being cognizant and thinking about focusing on being able to understand other people's feelings and problems, even though you could totally disagree with them. You could totally not like them, you know. And I'm not saying you have to do any of these things that I'm saying that will give you flair. You know what I mean? But from my life, it has helped, me being able to not only have a good network with people from all walks of life, different parts of the world, but it also has helped me make amends with people that I didn't have the best relationship with in the past, and with experience, and doing my best to keep learning and growing, and, about flair, facts, logic, accountability, reason, and empathy, which it helps a lot. It's been working, and I know other people where they incorporate these same things into their walks of life. They might not call it flair, but they're phenomenal people, great people, successful people. I believe that people that are outside of monetary success, to be successful in life and successful with, other people in your family and extended family and things of that nature, that you have to have some flair. We like to equate success with just money, when we all know that is people that have a lot of money, but they have no empathy, you know? People that have a lot of money and they have no accountability, and they're not accountable people, right? Do we need to name some names? Some celebrities you might know? Or maybe it's your own mother and father. So we don't have to name names. We don't have to always name names to get points across, right? Okay. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just, I guess, run a quick commercial. I have no viewers in here right now, which is fine. Like I said, I'll go ahead and edit this up and put it up as a video, and hopefully the word to get around, and we could get people to, to come through and just talk about what's on their mind. It doesn't have to be as serious as what I'm talking about right now. This is what's on my mind, you know what I mean? So I'll just sharing that with you guys and everything. And yeah, man, we'll keep it pushing, man. The next generations, man, is always watching. That's one thing I do know for sure. The next generations are always watching. They're always imitating. They're always mimicking. And they're actually definitely always taking life by the horns and just doing it the trial and error way. Versus the, you know what, I'll just take that advice and try it that way. We got to be honest. We know that's not normally how it goes. That's not normally how we did either. I mean, we got different scales of how we did it. Like me, I was more of like a 50-50, kind of kid growing up, Half of it I listen to, half of it I try them on, I guess, And I tell you what, the half I tried them on didn't bode well. I'd been better off probably being more of a 75-25. Yo. Hey, man, I'm just being honest with y'all, man, for real. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before I go, just remind you, recap every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We're building a unique community over here where people come in without profanity, within the guidelines of YouTube, you know, and say what's on your mind. And you could get feedback or not if you want to. You could, the channel is gonna move the way you all move it, the way the community moves it. Okay. But always remember that the purpose of this channel is for the next generations. Okay? It's for the next generations, man. We have to really, really understand that everything that we put out on this internet, it is forever. It is stored on servers all around the world. And what I mean by servers, just like your memory on your computer or your phone. But that's just right there in your hand, right? Well, they got other memories that goes into what they call the cloud. The cloud are servers, are machines, that store data, and they're all around the world. Okay, literally, right? So we gotta respect the power of that and the power that it gives us to where I could be on here with no one calling in right now, say what I say, upload it, and is on the internet forever. It could be played 100 years from now. So your voice counts, whether you think it does or not. It does. You count, whether you think you do or not. A great analogy I like to use is dominoes. Take one domino, front or the back. If it falls a particular way, everything else tumbles. If you're on the front or the back, you got a 50% chance of falling one way and nothing happening. I would say those must be the people that have no family, no friends, no children, possibly. You might be the front and the back domino. But we're going to talk about the majority of the 8+ billion people on this world. They're everything but the front and the back of the domino chain in humanity, right? So, whichever direction we fall in, most likely it has the opportunity to hurt or help somebody else. And we don't even know how that might go, right? Can't predict the outcome, correct? But what we can do is do our best to set ourselves up for success of not being that person. All right. So keep the next generations in mind. They need us. They depend on us. They actually look up to us, even though they might slam their door and say, I hate you, or whatever it might be. You got to go ahead and check that, parent. Can't let them things just slide and ride. Get solutions with your children. Get solutions with your friends. Get solutions with your coworkers. Get solutions with your upper management. Whichever way you want to view it, do the best that you can to be the best that you can, okay? Till next time, we'll go ahead and keep this thing rolling. I'd like to hear from you all. Contact me. Check out all the social media platforms. Make sure you go on to the Next Generations T Public Store, Next Generations Redbubble Store, and check out the products there, things of that nature. And I'll see you around. Love you, world. Peace.